And we're back to another episode of I've Given No More Fucks. Final Fantasy 13. I'm your host, RPG guy. So we went ahead and did our Crystarium maxing out here on every character, and I actually even had enough to take one character's side class all the way up to 1, while having enough left over for any Crystarium upgrades in the future that are significant. And I put healer, on these 3 here. Saboteur, Synergist, and for her, Sentinel. I mean, the stats are negligible, and they're definitely not worth the investment. Not one bit. So that's something you have to really, really consider. The grinding session took about 2 hours, give or take. 2 hours wasted. I'm indifferent, and I don't care. I mean, the whole idea is that it saves us from having to do it later. There's a whole kind of element to it you're about to see here that it helps, but it falls into that category of that they made the system in a sense that leveling matters, and it kind of doesn't. And because that's what they decided to do, it really kind of just makes this game trial of endurance, more so than literally anything else. Which I would argue is one of the weaknesses, the major weaknesses of the gameplay here, is that the gameplay is probably as repetitive as it could possibly get. Because you're really just at the mercy of the game. Because most of these fights you could win without having to be that high level. Just the battles take longer. Your strategy won't even change all that much. And again, if I know there's going to be some jack-off that's going to be like, well, you just don't try other strategies and da-da-da. I'm like, it's not that there isn't a strategy that would work or wouldn't work. Like, you could debuff a lot of these enemies into oblivion, and then that would be a means of which you could kind of expedite dealing with this, right?
Now that looks like an easier way to get where we're going.
Let's take it. Didn't want you to throw your back out climbing, old man.
You really are a charmer, aren't you?
But you get my point. Even if you have a different technique, the time is about the same. Now, you could argue that instead of using lightning as the main character, you could use, like, Vanille or Fang and just debuff an enemy, and then you're good to go. But I'm pretty adamant it will take you a similar amount of time. You're not saving that much time by doing that. But looky there. Teddy bear. All right. Now, we don't have that. I don't believe it's been a while. I had to take a break from this game for a little while because, I need a break from this insanity once in a while. And I haven't done much upgrading after getting everybody's weapons to the next tier. Okay, we've got, everybody's on level 2, upgraded weapon. The issue that comes from that is now there's only one more tier, and it's 2.5 mil to buy the item that will level it up. Will we acquire that financing for every character? Probably not. I'm gonna probably do it just for the enemies that are, for the characters we plan on using. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like I could just really beat the game with these 3 characters. I think there's one area where they split off for a bit. I don't remember where, if it's in chapter 12. But a part of me was also like, I don't actually. I think it's just really this for the rest of the game. And if it is, then it begs the question. Where do you go from there, right? Just focus on your primary characters that you plan on using most of the time. And again, there's always a bit of fun if you use them all. I'm not gonna deny that existence. Nothing there. So as you can see, we're at a giant city. There's a Seath Waystone, so if we want to teleport around, we can. But again, I'm not that interested in side questing this game to death, because side quests should be a slow build. They should have them more often and more frequently. You don't just pad the ending of your game with side quests. That's actually one of my criticisms of Final Fantasy X. But even 10 did it better than this.
Yep, everyone in the village lived together.
One big happy family?
One heck of a lot of places to hang your hat.
We're back.
A dinosaur story. If anybody got that reference, good on you. You see, they couldn't even really grant us the luxury of just another town somewhere to explore that's not a freaking wasteland.
So, do you want to take a look around?
We'd better. Gotta find something to help us lose these brands.
That's not the only reason we're here. You're finally home. Make the most of it.
As we get attacked by the giant nipple monster. And as you can see, the giant nipple monster is the reason I despise life. So yeah, I mean, again, there's really no improvement to what we can do to our characters at this juncture. And even this battle's pretty rough. As we gotta heal up. And he's staggered. Again, just giving you an idea of the fights here. We're so overgeared, and the only thing we could do more is level up our weaponry. But even then, it's not necessary to do it right now. Our weapons are not under... I don't believe they're under-leveled. And even if they were at level, I don't believe we would be getting much better performance than what we have right now.
Follow my lead. This will be quick. Give it your best shot.
And for some reason... Over with it.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at, I'm almost dead already. And again, this could be based on me just fucking trying to just bash this enemy into the ground. But ultimately, you look, the CP is not worth it. Nothing in this fight was worth it, except what we might find in here, which is probably a whole lot of nothing. Other than this thing. Yeah, a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Ugh.
Guess I'm to blame for all this too.
Yeah. We'll head over here.
Friend of yours?
Yeah. You're okay. I was worried.
He wanted to say goodbye.
He's not ready for the scrap heap just yet.
Borderlands reference?
Bit worse for wear, yeah. Nothing I can't fix. Just need to track us down some parts.
Of course. Because, you know, it's always something. As you can see, they're not even going to let us examine that without fighting these enemies. Now this probably is not going to be that bad. Yeah. So this isn't that bad, but those big guys, they're pretty bad. And look, you get more XP from this. Or CP. So if we look at our map, in that building we were just in a moment ago, and that enemy is respawned. So, yeah. Because I don't feel like dicking around with it too much. I believe we're almost to the end of this chapter, give or take, so that's why I'm just trying to move this crap along. This intentional filler, as far as I'm concerned. Which, again, it means there's very little adding to the story, more so than it's just wasting my time to get to the next story element. So this is that thing where it's like if you're buffed, you can power through that. So you know it is a commentary on you could enter battles pre-buffed like this, and it makes your life a lot easier. That's for sure. But we know those items are finite. Though we have the means to cast the spell, it is a question of can you actually do anything with it. Alright, so we gotta wrap our way around, and then we gotta come all the way back. If I'm not mistaken. Which means enemy respawns, and there's other nonsense. Let's do it. Get the little seeker first. Wait. Yeah, it's normal. Okay. Weak against every element.
You're gonna squirm. You're gonna squirm.
They just have very little say when it comes to combat.
Got your back.
Don't panic.
You're gonna squirm.
And we'll just grab that. You know what? I forgot to grab what was in that other treasure sphere, didn't I? Hopefully they didn't respawn already. Doesn't look like it. Did I grab? Yeah, I knew I didn't grab it. You know, it's just you're so, or at least I am so eager to get this over with. And you know, like I said, there are people who like this game, and fair enough. If this is what floats your boat, this is what floats your boat. But I mean, there are way better games out there. And to me, this was the beginning of the downfall. Even more. Well, this wasn't the beginning of the downfall, but it was definitely en route to the downfall of this franchise, in my opinion. But a lot of what's wrong with, in a sense, God damn it, a lot of what's wrong with the series can be linked to this particular game. I think it's actually downstairs and I didn't have to fight this fight. That's okay. But actually, he's immune to almost all status effects except for Curse. So, my point still stands. It's like there's not much you can really do to make this battle that much better other than buff yourself. Resistant to magic. Everything's normal.
Let's wrap this
use some ruthless aggression. Yeah, that's a bit better. Quite a bit better. But you get my point. It's like... It's just a matter of figuring... this game just needs more story, and the story needs to be more coherent. And it just really isn't to me. Or rather, the coherency is too little too late. To a point where it's like there's no care anymore. Why care about it? So anyway, it's all kind of it's my opinion too. So some of you might just think I'm an old codger who doesn't like new things, but I have played new things and like them just fine. What was that? So there is an element to it that needs to be expressed, that there are good things that are new. Strangely enough, made by this same company, like Octopath Traveler, was actually pretty good. Maybe I will do a Let's Play of that in the future. We'll see. And I think the creator said he has no plan or intention of making a sequel. So if Square Enix ends up promoting a sequel, I'm gonna have a pretty strong dislike for probably it, because it's gonna be made by somebody who's not the standard writer for it. I don't think they'd be able to get back the original writer. Part of me would be mildly concerned about that. That's all. Hear the lumbering of large things. This gets us up here to what looks like some kind of railway or highway. Okay. One more yet to go, and it looks like it's going to send us down this path filled with unavoidable fights. So, well, semi-avoidable and unavoidables. Still know nothing about it. And here we go. This time we won't have the buff, so let's see here. So as you can see, when he has his barrier up, he has immunity to a certain amount of stuff. It appears quite clearly when we break the barrier, he's weak to, or he loses a lot of the resistances. He's not actually weak to anything, I don't think, But he loses a lot of the resistances that he had. Yeah, we're doing more damage. Are we going to probably kill him before he restarts his shield? Probably not, but...
We can win this. Give it your best shot.
And of course we're slowed at the same time, which doesn't really help.
Careful now. This will be quick. You're gonna swerve.
And there it is. Yeah, a little better than that first time we fought him, but still fucking drawn out as fucking shit. Get the taming pole. Getting pretty far away from that robot thing we need to repair, aren't we? Couldn't get away from him. Darn. I think we can avoid this. Like so. So we should be almost to it, yeah. Soul. Make a save, because saving's your friend. Let me see about gear here. Magic's so freaking high, he doesn't really need that. His HP is actually pretty good too. He's only getting 148 out of that. Yeah, we can up that. You notice I haven't really done much leveling up of the accessories yet, because I'm not convinced that there's any particular accessory that is... I mean, like I said, when we get closer to endgame, we'll make a decision on what we want to do gear-wise then, but until then, I'm not that worried about it. Now, what I want to do... I believe this will work. It's one of the few times you want to prep that.
Embrace thy fate, thine home to burn. That
My booze to
fallen souls
consume.
might bear our plea
Ah.
to hasten the divine's return. O piteous wanderer, Ragnarok, make of this day a brave epoch.
Our daily bread?
Deliver the divine, Ragnarok.
What? Sarah, how did you...
I was waiting for you to open your eyes. All the time I was asleep, I knew what was happening.
Oh
I
boy.
kept trying to think of a way to save Cocoon. Together.
Sarah...
It's a trap!
You get it now. There are no gods with miracles to save us. No matter where you look.
You
That's
don't
why we have
say.
to call one. Destroy Orphan. We'll save the world.
Stop it!
You can't do that. You love me too much. You do, don't you, Claire?
Enough already. Listen up. We are all shooting for the same goal here.
And the result of that is this.
You son of a...
Oh man, Bart's got his games.
You betray your foul seed to chase after dreams and shadows.
And
The
booze.
world you claim to wish to protect now faces the end of days, with no hope of salvation.
I didn't think Fal'Cie had the means.
Oh, it won't be Fal'Cie who destroy her. For centuries now, Cocoon has provided generously for its human inhabitants every want and need. Coddled
fair
them,
enough.
one might even say. The result being their deep-seated fear and hatred of change and all things alien. Fed, nurtured, and ready to detonate at the slightest spark. The seeds of destruction take root, even now.
What did you do to Cocoon?
I resigned, appointing Reigns as Primarch in my stead.
Reigns? He's alive?
The puppet is restrung to serve my needs, yes. Its eyes had long since turned to glass. Of course, the cavalry's eyes would see our
That would have been a nice
foe
scene to
nothing
have
more
seen,
than a
you know.
traitor to their cause.
Would have been some
They'll
more
say that
things to
Fal'Cie
show
got to
us.
him too, or some such drivel. And imagine when I spread word that it's Orphan tugging at his strings. What happens next?
You're gonna use the cavalry to take the thing out?
Perhaps. Or perhaps I'll feign the howling of Pulsian wolves and let the fear-addled sheep slaughter themselves first. Either way, the end is at hand. But what of yourselves? Will you enjoy the festivities beside me? Or perhaps...
Reach the end here, in the land where it all began.
Okay, so even this is a palette swap from what we fought last time. But luckily we don't have 4 other things we gotta fiddle with first. Well, what we should do... Let's Libra this up. And then the trick to this fight is really kind of like one of the enemy groups we fought before. If I'm not mistaken, is you gotta work him down, and then once you can work him down, just hit him as hard as you can humanly hit him. As you'll notice, staggering him was not an issue. And nothing's changed, so... And we get a little bit, I will say, we have a little bit of play as far as when we need to heal. Not much, though. If we see more than one character reach half, we need a revert or healing. And he's also tossing out status effects like it's nobody's business. Which, hence why starting with these buffs really are going to go a long way. Alright. Let's combat clinic.
This battle is ours.
And he's going to hit us all at once anyway, so we may as well. Stagger him again. And like I said, once we get him staggered, we'll be in a better position here. Oh god, his butt crack's opening! The butt crack of doom. And there's an ugly bug. You can actually see we're holding the damage and everything pretty well. Let's do perseverance instead, actually. But you notice all of our status bonuses are pretty much gone now. And we're getting riddled with status effects up the ass. Which is fine, we're hitting him with some statuses as well of our own. God damn it, stunned. Come on, and we're gonna lose this fight because we can't get out of stun. We're stun locked. We were doing so good until we got stun locked.
Not yet.
And this is always the part, again, that of this fight that just gets absurd. And we're stun locked. Let's get him. And I'm dead.
Move on instinct.
We're still in there. Like I said, the back end of this fight's a little harder than the front end. I hate the fucking daze attack. Come on, cure it.
I'll deal with this. Bring it on.
Do.
Got your back.
Take down the enemy.
At least we can do the strikes. Let's heal before we overload him here, because we want to make sure we don't have to stop heal. We don't want to make sure we don't have to heal in the middle of the fight, you know? Come on. You notice that even still we're slowing down quite a bit. Alright, come on. Oh, good, good. Damn it. Always something. Why is she not curing herself? When she's clearly the one that's almost dead. Everybody else is fine. That's the other issue I have with the AI sometimes. Because, again, it's dragging this fight out even more so than necessary. Well, we've almost got it. We just gotta hang in there a little longer. We're gonna gun for it. And there it is. And our Crystarium is expanded, which we're gonna exploit ASAP. But we did it. That's what's important. And this is, to be fair, this is one of the harder fights of the game. And it's hard only under this guise that it's technically challenging when it's really just a gauntlet. It's just an endurance fight.
Allow me to extend my invitation. To save a people beyond salvation, there is only Ragnarok.
Tweet, tweet, motherfucker. The Owl-mobile has arrived.
Cocoon suffers. Release her from the pain.
All I can do is give her a laxative. Can you just calm down? I mean, again, the premise is already... It's just... So many people try to defend this game. I don't know why. And maybe it's just at the end of the day I'm a big giant asshole. Which is very likely. So... Our character can develop further. Yay. Commando. So again, we get another tier of all really good stats. But they're already in the 1800 range and whatnot. Let's see how much we've saved up, shall we? Before the game decides to throw me into another freaking fight. There we go. Daga. I think that's Army of One. Unleash a devastating flurry of blows. Chain bonus effects varies by situation. Fair enough. As you can see, we're probably going to be a little short of finishing this whole thing. Which is fine, but we're going to be like 90% of the way there for each of the characters. As far as I'm concerned. There's no more skills to learn. Let's go to medic really quick. And try to be sure of that. Get the smaller offshoots later. The big HP is going to be right down the middle. Look at how much of it, though, we were able to get done. And we've got a gil grinding area we got to do anyway. So this will be easy for us to max out. I don't care about, what was it, Stopka? That's, I believe that is a, yeah. I don't believe that's just a single caster spell either. I believe that that's one of our TP abilities. So, just keep that in mind. We care about Ravager on him more than anything else. And we'll pass that tree because there's nothing to learn there. I don't think there's much to learn left. So let's go to Synergist. There's Haste. And Stopgut. Okay, we definitely want Haste. Stopgut's I'm indifferent to. Whoops. More medic. Hiraja is really the most important thing here. I think he'll get more of his stats from Ravager than anything else. Or we go for, whoops, what was in Saboteur? No, not Saboteur. There's a bit more up here. Actually, I think they all have turned into this. But we don't have anything set up for Saboteur for him, so I'm not going to bother. Same with all of these. I believe now their new maximums are going to be different. They're going to start looking more like what you would expect them to. Hence why, if you're going to do stuff at end game, it makes a little sense to focus on certain aspects of what you want your characters to learn. Like, teaching them all medic is if you ever have CP for any reason just sitting around, you may as well max it out. There we go. Somebody's got Stopka. There we go. Let's make sure we use it all. Some of you might say, well, if you fought all that stuff earlier, you'd probably max out everything, and my answer is no. We'd be close, but no cigar. Imperil and Stopka. Again, another Stopka. So really, we'll do Saboteur up to a point. Which is there. We'll grab the Strength nodes. Probably ignoring the Magic nodes for now. Sentinel and Commando are going to be the big ones here. Probably Sentinel more for the stats. You can see lots of extra stats for Strength. Commando. There's Highwind. And that it looks like more of the HP is going to come from this one. Okay, we'll skip over magic nodes because we do not rely on her magic very often. Actually, no. Let's see here. Actually, the HP's a little better over here, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Again, lots of magic. HP is not as good. Don't care about Stopka. That's a little of everything, ain't it? There we go. Alright. A few more to go here. Don't care about Commando. Care more about Synergist and Ravager for him. You get Protect and Shell, which he didn't have before. He was a different kind of Synergist than Hope, so it's nice that he has that because it's hard to say that Zaz is a replacement for Hope. He is an interesting option. But Hope's magic stat is just so great. It's, you know, there's very little reason to want to swap him in. It's just hard to really justify doing it. And there's a Stopka. There we go. Ravager. Cold Blood. And that's it. He learns no new magic spells. That's the better magic offense for this class. But we're not really going to beef up what he's good at here. So, you notice even under Ravager, a lot of the stat bonuses are strength. It's almost like the game is trying to convert his role into something else, is the impression I get. Like they want him to be more of a commando. Because look at all these strength nodes versus magic nodes. His magic is not really getting that much better. Or as good as you would expect it to get. And his offshoots are actually better than the main drag. Which I always found interesting. So it's like he never will excel at any particular outright thing, but they set up the parameters in such a weird way that you can't really exploit any particular. Again, he's kind of in the middle. You could say he's a jack of all trades, other than the fact that he can't heal. So, may as well just finish Ravager at this point. Because statistically, I have run out of shits to really give, because I can't get him the stats I want anyway. That would really improve him in what I would think would be the best. Okay, he should be done with this. Yep. And then I guess Synergist would be the next place to finish out. Okay. Snow. Whoops. More of Commando Sentinel than anything else, than Ravager. We can look at Ravager, though, and see what he learns, but I'm not that interested. Gonna be that interested. Blizzaga. Waterga. And Stopga. So, yeah, not as relevant. Commando. Sovereign Fist. And then Sentinel. Just straight up just stats. So, there you go. Straight up just stats. And like I said, I don't care about his Ravager so much. Because I would probably be reluctant to use it. We do want to get that fist attack. You notice his offshoots are very expensive. Which leaves little reason to grab him. I don't want Ravager anymore. Again, we'll just do the loop, I think. And as stated, we'll do offshoots later, even though I did them with the earlier characters. grab it. And just enough for an offshoot, but we'll do it under Sentinel or something else, because chances are the option might be better. It's actually not. Alright. Another one done. I know this episode's going a little on the longer side, guys, but I figure let's knock this out so you can see what I'm doing. Saboteur and Medic are going to be the big ones, I think, for her, because if we need to swap her in for any character, we can. She's not learning anything new, so this is really just stats, because I saw Stopka already. Saboteur. Can. Death, there we go. We'll go for that. Might be worth it for us to look into a Ravager a bit more. I mean, she's not going to replace... Yeah, okay, so she doesn't learn any new spells. I don't think she even has the same spells options. I think Hope gets everything, and she either gets everything or she doesn't. Strength we don't care about as much. Like I said, we'll just go around the loop. The HP on this tracker is pretty good. A lot of magic. Yeah, not as many good stats on this tracker. I don't know. It's hard to say. All right. So if we want to give a comparison, 1249 to 1584, so that actually caught her right back up with him. But the question is, do they actually have the skills? If we look at him, you know, we got Fire Aga, Blazaga, Thundaga, Eroga, so all of the elemental Agas. But do we actually get that luxury with Hope? We don't. See, she's got the Agas of fire and ice, but not in thunder and water, water, or wind. So that's kind of one of the things that makes you question who's really the best for whatever. And again, but she's the best healer, but she can do all the stuff. I believe Numbnuts can do the same stuff. So if we look at Medic, he does all the same stuff. As a synergist, he's got all the buffing as well. Saboteur I don't care about, but he's got some stuff. Because we went through the effort to give him some. And then Ravager, you know, he's got Last Resort, and he's got all the Agas. So, when it comes down to magical offense, as much as I want Hope to die in a fire, as a person, because I hate this character, the more I want that for me, he is one of the better offensive characters when it comes to magic. So, anyway, this is a good place for us to stop right now, so I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Jacktar Studios for more live gaming action. And when we come back, we're moving on to the next chapter, and you don't want to miss it. Or maybe you do, I don't know. But we do have to move on. So, thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.